Hello and welcome to episode 3 of this FM21 Touch challenge, Help the Hatters with me, Daniel. We're back with Luton Town today and we've gone from what were probably must-win games against Reading at the end of the last episode to really must-win games today. It's 23rd place Coventry v 24th place Luton, and if we don't win this one, I can't see us surviving. And I know that's a bit bleak this early in the challenge with more big games to come, but the tide's got to turn somewhere. There's a 10-point deficit still, 13 beyond that, and actually nearly a 20-point gap up to 19th. So to make sure that we're not in the bottom 3 this year, the winning run has to start now. So we've got our January signings in, we've made some tactical changes, and we're going to be going all out for this one. So if you're looking forward to that and you're enjoying the series so far, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. We'll have the last episode of The Head Coach before Christmas later on at 3:30 today, and then Bangor City tomorrow for Christmas Eve. But I hope you're all looking forward to the festive season. A massive thank you for your support so far. There's not much else for us to talk about really. We made big January signings in the last episode, and they need to have an instant impact, so let's go and see if they do. We've not played any games off camera, though we will do a couple after this one because we've got a big end to the month with Rotherham and then Wycombe coming up. Rotherham, of course, 17th. Wycombe, one of the 4 sides we possibly can catch. So it's got to turn somewhere. But let's have a look at the tactic for what we've gone for. Now, this is a tactic I've really struggled with in FM before. I don't think I've ever, bar once with Sunderland, been able to get a back 3 to work. And even then, I had a holding midfielder. And we were near the bottom of the Premier League. We were playing backs against the wall stuff. Here we can't afford to do that because draws aren't enough. So I've had to make some sacrifices in terms of personnel. For example, Dewsbury Hall is better than Pearson, who's coming in for him. But we need to have the best team out, not just the best players. Luke Berry's on the bench, so we can just rotate that midfield at 60 minutes if they're tired. And we have got Luar back from injury, so we can bring wingers on later on if we need to. But I'm going for the 3-5-2, or the 5-2-1-2 as it's listed. So we're trying to get some more protection to the fullbacks. We've got the extra centre-halves behind them. And it does mean that Matty Pearson will get a run in the team. So I'm kind of regretting not getting a big centre-half in. We had the chance to get Ted and Mendy, who we've got from the live stream save at Dundee United. It's a fantastic youngster on loan from Manchester United, but we just couldn't get all of them in here. We've already got 4 quality loanees in. We've already got a good side. We've actually got 1 player outside the squad today, so a little bit of depth. But let's go and get into the first one. We've got Coventry away today, a must-win game, and then Sheffield Wednesday at home. And at Kenilworth Road, we've got to start creating a fortress. The dynamics features, of course, not in FM21 Touch, but the morale's pretty poor, if we're being honest. The one thing I wasn't sure of is whether to go for Sluga or Shea, but Sluga's got a decent rating for a man who conceded 3. And he is still, attribute-wise, I think the best keeper at the club. So he's going to be a sweeper keeper behind a back 3 today of Pearson, Bradley and Lockyer. We've got Bree and Norrington Davis, the wing-backs, with Morel and Mpanzu central midfield. And in the new big man signing, Curtis Jones in the number 10 role, with Adam Idar up front alongside James Collins. 2 Irish international strikers, a Liverpool starting midfielder in the number 10. If only their real-life ability was reflected in these ratings. But we know what Idar can do. He's caused shocks for many a time with Cliftonville in FM20. So let's go and see if he can do it today. It's Coventry v Luton, the bottom 2 head-to-head, and we have to start closing the gap. Let me know if you think we can. So some fairly well-known names in that Coventry side. Tyler Walker, the threat up front. They've got the likes of O'Hare in there. Jamie Allen's on the bench. We nearly signed him at Dundee United too. Josh Pask is a good player. Liam Kelly scored a brace just the other week in real life. No sign of the other centre-forward in there, but there we go. David Martin in goal. So they've got a bit of experience dotted around. It's going to be a difficult game, I think. But let's get into the first half. Coventry, they're playing a similar tactic as well. A back 5, but then 4 in midfield and 1 up front. So still, somehow, we could get outrun in the middle. Let's see what happens. 10 minutes on the clock. No signs of any shots yet for either side. But we are back with a corner for Norrington Davis. No one attacking it. And again, we put a lot of work into these set pieces and nothing's happened as it falls for Lockyer at the back stick and the centre half gets a great connection on it. But unfortunately, it goes flying over the bar. What I will say is we look a decent side. And ideally, this tactic can be an opening for us. As Curtis Jones puts James Collins in, the international striker's put it wide. Oh, he's got to score those. And in real life, he probably would. But the openings are coming. We look much more assured. and I'm hoping this tactic can open something for us. Just to end the winless run, or just to end the losing run I should say, of 22 games. That's the problem when you start these challenges. They bunch all the positive results at the start of the season, and it makes the morale as hard as it can possibly be. As Kelly picks it up in the holding role, beats it into Callum, it's too easy. Sluga does brilliantly well, but Norrington Davis got caught out positionally there. Sluga smothers, and now he can roll out from the back. Now we've got distribute quickly on, but he takes his time and finds Adam Idar. Flicks down to Collins, who holds up. He's got 2 up with him, Norrington Davis is 1, but even that, the little 5-yard passes are just going astray. Just behind him, and it's checked the counter-attack. As Collins finds Curtis Jones, good ball to Pelly Ruddock, he slides it in! Pelly Ruddock and Panzu gives Luton the lead, and there's the Curtis Jones magic already. We gave up Ewan O'Kane, we spent most of the wage budget loaning him, and after utter dominance for half an hour, Luton Town have the lead. Now can we take advantage? 1 minute to half time, it's been a brilliant display, but it will count for nothing if we let in an equaliser here. Only 1 shot for Coventry so far. Giles trying to get it in down the left. Hamer holds it up on the left side of the box. To Giles again. Into Walker. Back to Giles. On to Walker. And his header slides just wide. I think Sluga had it covered. But it looks like we're going to lead at the break. A much better performance. A brilliant tactical display. And probably the only shame is that it's not 2. Because Collins' chance really should have gone in. 10 minutes into the second half, all looking good still, but we love that second goal. As Lockyer finds Bree with a short free kick just inside the opponent's half, as Pelly Ruddock, the goal scorer, goes back to Lockyer. He tries to switch the play. Norrington Davis on the left, chance to take on the wing back, and he does just that. He beats him into the box unopposed, crosses towards Curtis Jones, and he heads just over unmarked. Really, we wanted that fall into Collins. It is such a shame. I will say for now, the episodes will probably get slightly shorter, as it will mainly be focused on the pitch action. But if we can hold on for this one, we can start to look positive. I am going to make a couple of changes now. James Bree's tired at right wing back. I don't think I've got a replacement. So I'm going to go for Morel replaced by Dewsbury Hall, who he dropped out for this. Like for like replacement really. He can play comfortably as a playmaker. And James Collins hasn't had the best game either, but I'm going to leave him on. If he hadn't have missed that chance, his rating would be in the 7s. So I'm not going to make lots of changes just for the sake of it. I want to take advantage. However, my big concern is, beyond these 3 centre-halves, we don't really have one at the club. Glenn Ray can of course cover there if needed, but it doesn't really fill me with confidence. I guess Galloway could tuck in if need be. Now I did take Hilton off the bench, so I can't really make those changes either, which is a little bit of a concern. Curtis Jones on a yellow, and we really want to make sure he doesn't get sent off. So I'm going to replace him with Luke Berry. Up front, I'm going to replace Collins with Lee. And I'm going to make Idar the target man. Because he's not bad at it. And he's fairly good in the air. He's 6'4". He's going to be a decent striker for us there. We can make one more. And then we've still got a tactical change where we can bring on somebody else. So do you know what actually? Let's bring Berry on for Ruddock, who's knackered. And then let's take Pelly off and bring on Glenn Ray. And what we're going to do tactically is that one I mentioned with Sunderland a few years back. Ray will go in as the sort of anchor man in front. And we're just going to lay out like that. A 1-0 win on the road could be our best ever result. And it could be the most important one of the season, no matter what happens afterwards. So let's get back into it. We've got 5 minutes to go. And in a few, we'll time waste and make the last change. 4 minutes of stoppage time to go. Let's make tactical changes. Most importantly, time waste all the time. Slow the pace down in possession. Tactically, we're going to change nothing else. We're going to drop the lines of engagement a little bit, just so we're not as high up the pitch. But I don't want this to go by. We've got a minute of stoppage time played, 3 more to go. Who can we replace? I mean, Bree at right wing back is shattered, but we have got nobody who can play there. Jordan Clark just about. So do you know what? For 3 minutes, let's just do it. 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. A famous win is about to come up. 3 points for Luton Town. A gritty, hard-fought 1-0 win. Utter dominance in terms of the stats, to be honest. But we've clung on, we've got 3 points, and hopefully this can be the turning point. We've got our notifications to say we've got a clean sheet and a first victory, but we're up to 16 points, just 5 away from Coventry. Barnsley have lost again, so just 7 from safety. Wickham have picked up another point. They're now 11 clear of us. Middlesbrough not really finding their way out, but that's a promising sign. What we've got to do now, as we play Sheffield Wednesday next, to have made their way back into the top 6. They would be top on goal difference without the points deduction. We've got to turn this into an unbeaten run. We've got to turn this into multiple positive displays. We can no longer just beat the sides who are around us, because that won't give us enough points. We've got to start picking up other ones too. So a brilliant victory, a vintage display as it said. Pelly Ruddock with the all-important goal. We probably should have scored a couple of others. Collins and Lockyer both had great chances. But the goal was set up by Curtis Jones. He was the hero. Adam Idar stretched the defence. And the new signings have made a massive impact. So we're going to skip ahead. How long have we got? A week or 3 days? We've got a week before Sheffield Wednesday. And then the games start coming twice a week. So we'll be back next Saturday, hoping to build on our first win for Luton. We're back for Sheffield Wednesday, and there's a new name on the screen. Joel Lynch has joined us on a free transfer. I said we had no centre-half cover, so I asked the director of football. The best ones were Ashley Williams and Matthew Connolly, but unfortunately they both wanted big money. So instead we've got Joel Lynch, a player whom some may remember from the Wigan beta save. He's not going to probably play more than 1 or 2 games. We've only signed him on a contract till the end of this season, so he's not going to be here that long. If I show you his contract status, to the end of the season, £2,000 a week. He's a backup if we need him. He's got enough pace, he's got enough quality, and he'll do a job in a crisis. That's the idea. So let's go and get into this game. We're of course going to stick with the same tactic. We've got a slight knock to Pearson, which is a worry. Brendan Galloway will come in for him. Pearson's still going to be on the bench though. And I've thought about putting Danny Hilton back in due to the last game. But I'm not sure who he'd go on for. I think I'm going to have to take the keeper off the bench. The only other change I'm going to make, because Morell's in poor form, is Dewsbury Hall back into the holding role. He's match fit, he's playing well, and that's what we're going to do. 2 changes in the lineup, Galloway and Dewsbury Hall come in, and then a few others on the bench as well. A good win against Coventry, now we need to back it up. Hopefully the tactic doesn't get found out. Let me know if you think we can make it 2 on the bounce, as we head to face Sheffield Wednesday. Well, a few familiar names for Luton fans in his Sheffield Wednesday team, of course. We've got Jack Marriott starting up front against us. Very strong attacking line with the former Cardiff man Harris, the former Huddersfield man Kachunga, the little wizard Barry Bannon, and Deli Bashir, who's a good youngster as well. What arguably worries me more, though, is on the bench they've got Izzy Brown, who was very good for us at times last season. Unfortunately, was a little bit injury prone. The likes of Che Dunkley and Aidan Flint, Liam Palmer. It's a very experienced bench and a very experienced dressing room. But we're up against Tony Pulis, 5 minutes gone. Let's see what we can do. Well, 20 on the clock. It's been a very quiet game. I guess Pulis sides do set up like this a little bit. If you have a look at their formation, they're playing a defensive 4-3-3, we should say. They have had shots, but there's not been one on target in the first half an hour. So I'm interested to see how this pans out. It does look like Sheffield Wednesday are getting on top. So we're going to go positive and we're going to try and get on the front foot. Well, we're not going to be able to read much out of that half. No executive box stand here at Kenilworth Road in game. But of course, Power Court's on the way soon. We got our shot in early. So I'm going to shout at the lads, just demand a bit more. Because we've not quite been at our best today. Although another point on the board could be useful. You can see Barnsley are there. Coventry and Middlesbrough, it's really tightening up. And it looks like they're the only teams we can catch. As we've matched up the shots on target, I'm going to have to make a change. We've got to try and do something. So Pelly Ruddock will be replaced by Joe Morell. And I'm mindful of the fact we've only got 3 substitution breaks. I'm not taking Curtis Jones off yet. And I don't think I'm taking Bree off yet either. We're going to leave it at that for now. Just the one. Right, we're turning the screw on the stats, but not in terms of chances. So Idar's going to be replaced by Elliot Lee. James Collins I'm going to leave on for physical and defensive reasons. Curtis Jones I'm going to leave on because he's got magic. I might play Jordan Clark right wing back again. It's something he can do okay. And at the back, I don't really want to mess with a back 3. So I might leave it for now. And then if we need to bring on a Glenn Ray, for example, we can do that later on. We've got Luke Berry on the bench, as we'll try and get a little bit of magic out of these. But it looks like being a result again. Although Sheffield Wednesday are coming forward here. The substitute Izzy Brown against his former club. Back into Barry Bannon in midfield. And here's Brown again. I'm guessing Marriott's still up there, is he? As Bannon gets it to Penny. Into the box unopposed. It's a good block the first time. It's not clear yet though. And Izzy Brown heads just wide. He probably should have scored. And with 5 minutes to go, I think we're going to make the last couple of changes. Let's just gamble on players that aren't quite as good in terms of star rating and attributes, but might deliver some quality. Danny Hilton on. He's going to replace the likes of James Collins. And Curtis Jones replaced by Luke Berry. 5 subs made. Here we go. There's 4 minutes left to nick a winner. And what we're doing is defending a Sheffield Wednesday throw, and I get very nervous at moments like this. Palmer tries to cross, it's blocked to the edge, no pressure on Izzy Brown, and he's going to go through. It's a brilliant challenge by Bradley, but that was a disturbing sign. No real effort to make the challenge. As it is though, it's game over. It's 0-0. It's 2 clean sheets in this tactic, and it's a positive sign. The 2 men that came in, Dewsbury, Hall and Galloway, were among the best performers for the side. And against a side in the top 6 who are absolutely flying, we're doing a really good job to get a point. So it's 1 point closer as Barnsley lose again, as Middlesbrough lose again, and as Coventry lose again. That's the bit that's helping us at the moment. Wycombe have lost 2, so the gap has got shorter. Just 6 points to Barnsley now, and I'd like to get above Wycombe ideally, but 21st place and I'm happy. Let's skip ahead and see when we'll next be back. But I think after the last episode, this is a pretty decent comeback. And there we go. Our personal assistant has said just that. We need to pick up as many points and as many fixtures as possible, and that can be considered an important step. We wanted all the spoils, but it was a good result, and we have to be mindful of that. Izzy Brown had a great chance to score against us, but the most important thing is we got a good result. I'm not sure why the attendance is only 6,700, because since Luton have been in a championship, it's been 9.5 regardless. I mean, it was 7.5 when we were in the National League, so that's a little bit unfair, but the game's made by a Watford fan, what can we say? Let's go to the schedule though. We're going to play a couple off camera now against Swansea and Stoke, and then we will be back for 2 massive games. And there's quite a few of them coming up actually. Rotherham and Wycombe will be the next episode. Wycombe, one of the sides we're hoping to maybe catch, just 10 points above us. Rotherham, they're out of sight now, but they're one of the teams coming up last season we'd expect to get a result against. I've seen a couple of games after that. We've then got Middlesbrough. It's going to be one hell of a run-in, and it's going to be one hell of a Christmas period. So let's hope we can do it. I thank you for coming along and joining me again. If you did enjoy the episode, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily content from this series every day this week at midday. I hope you're looking forward to the festive break, but the content will keep on coming here. We've got daily episodes from our 2 long-term stories every day at 3:30, aside from Christmas Day where we've got something a bit different. And then we've got 2 live streams a week from Dundee United. A couple of this Luton squad feature in there as well. The last one was last night if you missed it. And there's another one on Sunday at 10:30am. You can catch up with all the playlists in the eye above, as well as the podcast channel too. Championship prediction shows every single match day up there as well. And the latest one should be out later today. That's for the Boxing Day fixtures, where Luton of course are away from home. We'll be hoping we can get another positive result there. But thank you for watching as always. I do appreciate your support. And I hope to see you at midday tomorrow. Can we pick up and build on that momentum? I'll see you there to find out.